And I too want to thank you for this hearing, and I believe that everyone back home certainly has a big interest in this hearing. It strikes me as kind of interesting that there's so much talk about winners and losers. How about the people in Southwest Florida where there isn't an automobile manufacturer who feel like the car industry was chosen over maybe some of the businesses that they were in? So it's an interesting conversation. But my questions are going to go to you, Mr. Bloom. And just so I have perspective in this, because I'm kind of new to some of this, is it true that you spent the vast majority of your professional life prior to coming to the administration working for or on behalf of unions?
A good portion of it, yes.
And then let me ask you another question. Do you believe that the free market is nonsense?
No, I don't.
All right, well, let me, if I could, ask for the first clip to be played.
Generally speaking, we get the joke. We know that the free market is nonsense. We know that the whole point is...
That is you, isn't it, Mr. Bloom?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So do you believe that it is appropriate for someone who has been a union leader and someone who doesn't believe in the free market to then be picked by the president and placed in charge of restructuring a private company in our American free market?
Well, first thing, I think a comment I made in jest at a speech does not represent my view on this matter. First thing. Second thing, I would leave to others whether or not the choice of my work, the choice for me to work on this is appropriate or not. And I was part of a large team. There were about a dozen people at the staff in the Treasury Department.
All right. Well, let me just get back to this. But that was you making that comment, and you spent most of your adult working life either working for unions or on behalf of the unions. And I believe that you gave a speech in 2006 in front of the International Association of Restructuring, Insolvency, and Bankruptcy Professionals in Arizona, in which you described a bargaining technique, the dentist chair bargaining technique. Can you describe to us what the dentist chair bargaining technique is?
Yeah, again, in a lighthearted speech, I indicated I thought it was important that all parties to the bargain have skin in the game in order to produce the best result.
What is the dentist chair technique?
It's a reference to how a person might go into a dentist's office and make sure that the dentist doesn't hurt them.
And how would they do that?
They would they would do that by making clear that they also had leverage on the dentist.
And how do they have leverage on the dentist?
By grabbing him where it might hurt.
So you think the free market is nonsense?
I didn't say that, Congressman.
Well, okay. Well, I guess people can see it for themselves.
Right.
You work as either for or on behalf of unions. You believe that there's a way to bargain by making sure that the dentist feels the pain. Do you think that? Well, let me say this. There are some people who might disagree with your approach. Would you agree with that?
There were a wide variety of views on the task force about how to best carry this out. There were people in the task force who'd had experience on nothing but the business side of the House. There were those of us who'd had some more experience on the union side of the House. We all worked together and came to a consensus of the best way to do this.
All right, let me
took it forward to our principals.
If we could, we're going to play another clip here for you and tell me what you think of this.
The market is nonsense. We know that the whole point is to game the system, to beat the market, or at least find someone who'll pay you a lot of money because they're convinced that there is a free lunch. We know this is largely about power, that it's an adults-only, no-limit game. We kind of agree with Mao that political power comes largely from the barrel of a gun. And we get it, that if you want a friend, you should get a dog.
Did you really just talk about Mao and that somehow... well, let me ask you this. Is that representative of the culture in the unions, the leadership in unions?
I think it's representative of trying to make a point through exaggeration.
Well, through exaggeration.
Correct. And
I don't think that Americans think that exaggerating at a time when our economy is hurting so much is the right way to go. Now, you might have made these statements earlier, but you did say that you think free market is nonsense. You described a tactic of bargaining that is not professional. You also talk about Mao and how political getting things done is at the end of a barrel. Do you think that maybe it was a mistake that you were put in a position in the first place to be part of any kind of restructuring of anything in the American free market?
That would be for others to judge.
Where did you get? How did you get into that position?
I was asked to serve by people at the Treasury Department.
Did President Obama pick you to serve?
I do not know what the president's role was in the choice.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.